be a state of Israel. So that's what makes me a Zionist, not because I'm backing some Jewish, like epidemic or some kind of like secret society or whatever. Like I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. But when people say Zionist, I don't think that they it's clearly defined as to what you mean by Zionist. And as far as a nationalist, I mean, I fought in the military. I mean, wait, so does that make me a Christian national Zionist?
Here's the thing, though.
How many words are you going to put on me?
Right, so there's a difference, Brian. You can believe, look, I believe Israel has a right to have their own state too, but they do it on their own blood, sweat, and tears, not off the backs and the detriment.
Agreed.
Right, that's the problem. That's the problem, is that we have too many fucking Christians that are, look at Chuck Schumer. Okay, look at Mike Huckabee. Look at Ted Cruz. Listen to how they're literally out of their own mouths. They're willing to sacrifice America to preserve the state of fucking Israel. That's not how it works, bro. Yeah, you guys do your own. I agree. You guys have a right to be whatever you want to be. Go ahead and do your own fucking thing. But you're not going to do it off the backs and at the detriment of the American country and the American people. That's where the problem lies. Once you say that, once you voice that, you are now an anti-Zion, or you're an anti-Semite. You hate Jews. You hate, and it's like, no, motherfucker. No, you're not going to run that shit on. It's the same thing the blacks do. When you criticize blacks and you point out blacks, hey, you got to pick your own community up. You got to get yourself together. Oh, you a Uncle Tom. You a racist. It's just shaming tactics to try to shut down the criticism and the conversation, bro. And it's not working anymore because they don't control the media. Why do you think they bought TikTok, bro? Why do you think Oracle and Ellison are fucking implementing AI to doggone monitor everybody's speech and then install algorithms that prevent the dissenting opinion and dissenting view from going out? That is totally against American values. It's totally against the fucking First Amendment.
Well, they've got hate speech and abuse guidelines. There's medical misinformation guidelines as well. There are limitations on speech on these online platforms because I record everybody and I put them on YouTube and I get the notifications. Mike, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're probably accurate in your assessment. And we've been doing this 25 fucking years since 9/11 and probably before that. But the past 25 years...
Since World War I. Yep.
So, the past 25 years have been particularly bad, and we've spent more money than fucking God ever imagined. So, if you're right, well, fantastic. But what are you going to do? Instead of just talking, why don't you show me what you're going to do? I'm running for mayor of Chicago. I'm doing something in the political arena. And until people actually start doing instead of just complaining in the complaint gang, that's cool. You can create complaint content, but it's not going to go anywhere unless you put it out there, in my opinion. Hello?
No, and I agree with you. Again, I'm not fit to run for any political office. For one, because I know it's just going to be a losing battle. Same reason why I don't vote for, the Libertarian Party, which I was a huge fan of Chase Oliver this past election, and he would have had my vote over Trump. But again, I know it's pretty much throwing a fucking vote away. It's going nowhere, at this point. So again, I think the best approach for most Americans is having these conversations, spreading this information. Questioning people, and this is why we need freedom of speech. This is why we need the First Amendment and it not being shut down. You understand right now, the CEO of ADL and Larry Ellison are trying to make it on these platforms to where the word Zionist is going to be banned. You can't even use the word Zionist. Again,
we can't use the N word either. A lot of people think you should be able to use the N word. I don't know.
Hold on one second. A bunch of Zionist Jew billionaires and executives and very powerful people out of their own fucking mouths saying how they need to attack freedom of speech and they need to suppress it. Right? They need to control it because they are losing this. They are losing the narrative at this point. Something they didn't plan for. So again, that's dangerous, bro. That is anti-American, 100% anti-American.
There's a lot of anti-American things. There's a lot of things to complain about.
Would you say, Sean?
I'm saying there's a lot of things to complain about, but until we get our ducks in a row here, I think complaining about international affairs is the lowest of my priority. I'm concerned about the 2,000 babies every day that get lobotomized inside the womb, an embryonic abortion, or even a late-term abortion like the Ayatollah. I don't know what to tell you. We live in a fucked up, sick world, but it's you. It's your choices. It's your life. What you do matters. What you say matters. What you read matters. How you interact with people matters. Everything matters, but the point is, it's all about priorities. This is my complaint about people that are always bringing up Jews and Zionists is that you're a one topic show. It's not very wide. I like to complain about Indians because there's 1.3 fucking billion of them. In Israel you got 12 billion Jews, and over here you got 6 billion Jews, and there's more Jews around the world. But you know what? There's 1.3 fucking billion Indians. And there's a lot to complain about these Indians. Have you seen how they do religion? They're basically Satan worshipers. So, I'm just saying it's a big fucking world. And if you spend your whole life talking about JEW, well, what about YOU?
Who controls the power, bro? But here's the thing, though. You got to go to the source. And the source is, again, if you look at who's funding the politicians that are winning, Edmund, 98% of politicians who won last election had APEC funding. The ones who did not have APEC funding. That's the problem. Okay, and Diogenes hit the nail on the head. We need to start being more cognizant of who we're allowing to run in office, who we're allowing to be elected in office. We need to start looking and chasing where the money is. We need to put a fair playing around that. Hey, why is APEC the only political PAC that doesn't have to register under the FAR Act, bro? Shit like that. Like, we need to start becoming cognizant and putting everybody on a level playing field and saying, hey, any foreign political entity that comes in, Okay. See you later, fucking chimpanzee. Any foreign political agency that comes in and tries to influence American politics, they need to be vetted under a microscope, just like everybody else is. So again, it's about having the conversations. It's about waking people up. It's about challenging people's points of views. It's about having a conversation. It's about the First Amendment, bro. And that's where it starts. So again, yeah, I know it sounds like a one-trick pony show, Chicago, but the more you dig, you're finding out this is what the problem is. Our politicians are bought. Trump got fucking bought, bro. This is why he was campaigning on one thing and now is doing the exact opposite of everything he fucking campaigned on. He was criticizing politicians for things that he's doing currently right now.
And now he wants to put his name on his name on some currency, I heard.
Yeah, his ego too, man. It's not just that he's bought out, but what makes it worse and puts the icing on the cake is his fucking ego, man. His fucking ego.
Has he been diagnosed? I mean, all right, so I don't want to speak about people on the spectrum. I don't want to say, never mind.
Hello? You're a very conditioned human being, Sig, and you're, to me, you're the best. You're a great guy, but you're highly conditioned. And when I say that, I mean the word ego, meaning that there is no such thing as an ego. That's a Jewish concept from Sigmund Freud. It doesn't exist in the real world. You can't touch it, taste it, or feel it. Now, I know it's a concept, but you also have to understand that there is no fucking ego. No one has one, no one's ever had one, and no one will ever find one, because an ego is a concept. And so what I'm trying to say is, America is basically, you can buy it. It's for sale. And anybody who from overseas that's got the money, they apparently are able to buy our politicians. And I never met a politician who turned down $200,000. Never, ever. And, the thing is, there is a counter movement to this APAC movement, and it's APAC Tracker. And so finally, after 25 years, there's enough people now organized on the back end which are opposing APAC. And so APAC's power and influence is diminishing. And in 2026, they've had a good run. They have thoroughly devastated and regime changed the Middle East for Israel's benefit, because removing Saddam, removing the Ayatollah, etc., gives Israel a huge moat that other people were trying to cross. So I'm just saying you're accurate. You can be accurately describing the situation, but to me, it's still just one dimensional. It's not. It's not vast enough. I put a link in the chat where Hegseth is refusing to promote female black officers to the generalship because he doesn't feel they're qualified. Now that might really upset some people and say, "What a fucking racist." But you know, and I know, a lot of these putas who are fucking generals should never have been made general.
Well, I agree with you, man. I've served with a lot of black women, and not just black women. I'm telling you, it's once women get in these male-dominated positions and they start picking up rank to now where they have dominance and authority over males, it's a fucking high for them, bro. And I've seen so many fucking females lead with their rank and not with the respect and dignity, bro. I've seen it. Yeah, I think it's not just black women, bro. It's these females in the military period, man. They have a chance to dominate and tell men what to fucking do. They get high off that shit in Chicago. It's like smoking crack to them, bro. But as far as the APAC tracker, I put a link above in the Jumbotron. So there's been a new pack. It's called the Anti-Zionist America Pack. They're actually fighting head-to-head with APAC right now. So, definitely check the link out. It's some good information. But there's a gentleman who founded it, and he's trying to gather as much support as he can to get the foreign influence out of American politics. But I hear what you're saying, Chicago. Definitely, I hear what you're saying, and it's noted, brother. What's going on, Rightfully? Welcome to the stage, man.
Well,
Hey,
no. I'm sorry.
No, you good, brother. Go ahead.
Well, my question to Sig would be like, when you're talking about you follow the money, and to you, it always comes back to the Zionist or Jewish agenda, and is that literally the entirety of where the money is coming from, or do you just feel like that's an easy target when it comes to trying to chase the money and the influence that's changing our society?
When you have 92% of our senators have taken APAC money, when it's on the record that if you don't take the APAC money, you don't align with the APAC agenda, then they will fund the person that your opponent who you're running against 10 times the amount that they were gonna fund you, so you automatically lose. It's called getting primaried out, Brian. This is a real thing. This is what they do. This is a strategy that they're using. This is why, again, 98% of politicians that won their bids last election, APAC money, and you can go on their campaign websites and you can see for yourself where the money's coming from, where the donations are coming from, because it's legally they have to be transparent. And there's APEC, ADL, Adelson's, the Adelson Foundation. Yeah, it's look how much money these politicians are getting from these fucking donors, bro.
Like I just posted in the chat, that's only the funds we know about. We don't know about any other kickbacks as far as property, like properties, this whatever else. We don't know. Right. So you only go about the things that you can count.
And then to Bobby Lee, the comedian, he was on Joe Rogan, and I shared this in a room I did a few weeks ago. He said he got approached by APEC, him and a bunch of comedians. And all expenses paid, trip to Israel, hotel, 5-star hotel, food was covered, flight was covered, private jet, all this. They rounded him up and sent him over there. And, he didn't know anything about it at the time. He was like, oh, it's kind of weird, but fuck yeah, free trip, I'll fucking take it. And then he said when they got there, they had stipulations they put on. And one of the stipulations was every day that you're out here, you have to tweet and share something to your fans that's positive about Israel. The fucking CIA got...
Wait, Sig, before you go past Bobby Lee, I've met Bobby Lee in Los Angeles at the Comedy Store, and he's a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit. I wouldn't take what he says on Joe Rogan as being bona fide. I don't think the Israelis, when they meet Bobby Lee, would invite that piece of shit to Israel, because I've met that piece of shit. And guess what that piece of shit did to me? He tried to attack me for unprovoked, for no fucking reason, at the Comedy Store because he's got an inferiority complex and he's a little bitch. And I was with the hottest fucking Playboy model you've ever fucking seen from the Key Club at the Playboy Club. So I'm just trying to say, if you bring up Bobby Lee as a fucking as some type of credibility expert, fuck Bobby Lee. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. No, and that's the thing. It's not just Bobby Lee. So again, there were other comedians, and he's got pictures. He's got the receipts to show it was other comedians as well. So I get it. And I agree with you. Yeah, Bobby Lee is a fucking druggy piece of fucking shit. But in the context of this conversation, he's not the only one that's came across it. The fucking here, I'll give you his name. I got it here on my little list. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this shit up here. He was on Joe Rogan as well. John Kiriakou, so ex-CIA analyst, very, very high up in the fucking ranks. He said the same thing too. He was offered, and several people in CIA, it's the same thing. This is what they do. They offer you this free trip, all expenses paid, and this is one of their things is to pour and shower you with gifts and free trips and food and all this other shit and get you over there. And they do this with all the politicians too. Ted Cruz even admitted this. So this is not just a one-time Bobby Lee deal. This is a strategy that they use. And then part of that is
the Saudis do the same thing.
What's that?
The Saudis do the same thing. They fly in fucking Rihanna. They fly in Beyonce. The fucking Saudis do the same shit. Listen, if you just think it's the Jews, it's not. It's everybody. It's the fucking Saudis. It's the goddamn Indians. It's the fucking Persians. Have you ever been to Beverly Hills? Have you ever seen how many fucking Persians there are? You see how they fucking live in Beverly Hills? They're rich. Your average American is doing terrible compared to these people because they game the system. They all become doctors. They all go to med school overseas. And the Indians do the same thing. And they're making all the money. They're not the lawyers necessarily. A lot of them are. But they're primarily in the medical industrial complex. And where do we spend all our fucking money? In the medical industrial complex. This country is no longer America. It has been completely invaded for quite a fucking long time. Your average American is completely unaware of it even. But, that's why I'm criticizing your complaint as one-dimensional. There's a hell of a lot more complaints to go around than just your one specific complaint.
Was it invaded before or after the conquistadors? Let me know.
So
they invaded back then, man. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, Edmund, is that as of right now in our current political situation, since we moved this America First agenda, right? This is why so many people back Trump. Even you got a bunch of never Trumpers that finally fucking switched and voted for Trump, and that's what got him in this office. So we were pushing towards an America First, which is fix our infrastructure, take care of our American citizens, keep our money in house, spend our money internally, invest internally. That's what the whole
John from John Kitover knew.
What was that was what everything was.
He was drowning in debt with $48 billion. Every year we pay more.
This was based on that. Now we're going to this pro-Israel, Israel first.
But Sig,
and we can't.
His first administration, he spent trillions over budget, and we knew he was going to do the same thing this time. That was no secret. We all criticized it before he even became president. We knew he was going to fucking outspend, and he was going to drive us further into debt. He's not a payback kind of guy because he views the whole fucking thing as being inorganic and inauthentic to begin with. They don't even want the Federal Reserve to exist. The Trump sons are starting an alternative cryptocurrency. They're hip to the fucking problem. America knows that there is an international subversion situation going on, but it's not just Israel. That's what I'm telling you. It's the Saudis.
And I never said it was just Israel, Chicago, but that's the biggest problem right now at the moment. That's what I'm saying. Yes, we have bigger issues, but right now that is the most imminent threat that we have. That's what.
Well, it's your opinion. That's just your opinion. It's not a fact. That is an actual opinion.
Yeah, and I would say that, the Shia...
Who was drowning in debt for $48 billion.
Al-Sadr and, the Jaish al-Mahdi, and, how they're all part of, the regime in Iran. In my opinion, I think that that's the most important thing that we need to go after right now. You're just using Israel as a reason not to do it.
So again, if you follow Marco Rubio and you follow Pete Hegseth, Israel struck first, and we came in alongside them. We have no reason to be over there. They're not a direct threat to the United States. They don't have the technology to impact the United States. So
we've already been there. We killed Soleimani. We bombed their nuke sites just a couple months ago. We've been there, and we're involved in this. You think the Patriot attack was all fucking Israel? Those Lebanites, those fucking Hezbollahs who got blown up, those were CIA agents that helped in that shit. We're doing this shit for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Hello?
You're attacking people, not the points. Go after the points, not the people, please.
And if you trace this back to 1953, we didn't have any problems in the fucking Middle East until we went over there and we meddled, and it was because of fucking oil.
It's a war for the Jews, bro. Everyone knows it, bro.
So again, here's the thing. If you go back and look at the conversations and the correspondence JFK was having when Israel was a brand new infant fucking country, look at the correspondence, bro. They have needed our support because they're in a region where they're surrounded by nothing but fucking enemies. You got Russia above them. You got Pakistan. You got Iran. You got Saudi Arabia. You got all these fucking countries over there that would decimate them in 2 fucking seconds. They need America to hold them fucking back. And they're using America to gain ground over there. That's what this is about. We have no business over there. We have zero business over there, brother. This is not our fucking battle.
Big fat.
It's again still just your opinion that we're not in the battle when we've already been in the battle, and you're just in denial of the fact that we're in the battle when we are in the battle.
That's not what I said.
To kill American soldiers.
Being in the battle. Okay, again, that's like me coming to your house, Doc, and fucking with you and your family, and then you start dropping bombs on me, you start shooting shots at me, and then I start bitching and complaining that, oh my God, Doc's a bad guy. No, I should have went over there and fucked with your family in the first place, and none of this would ever started. That's my point. And now I'm gonna try to rally people behind me and justify.
Provocation for you to come over here, right?
Say that.
You're saying that there was zero provocation for you to show up here in the first place, right?
Right. That's the thing, Brian. Is if I go.
So there was zero provocation. I got you.
So look at 1953. This is when it started. We went over there fucking with them first. We overthrew their government, bro, because they were going to start becoming independent with their oil, and it would have been a direct competition against the fucking European oil dollar, okay? And we couldn't have that. Why? Because they still owed us a shit ton of fucking money from the first 2 world wars.
Sig, you gotta.
That's our economy, because our economy is built on a fucking Ponzi scheme.
It is built on a Ponzi scheme, but you got to look at it as a prestige and a dignity thing. America won World War II, and we are awesome. And so if you want to disengage from international affairs, well, that's a you thing. That's a you problem. Unfortunately, a lot of American leaders and billionaires walk with such prestige and dignity to think that they're not going to be involved in the conversation overseas and they're not going to walk around with all their weapons. That's what we do. We are the mafia. The government is the fucking mafia.
Germany. Yeah, firebomb Germany again. Fuck it. Who cares?
Here's the thing, Chicago.
What are you
We'll
talking
just
about? I
say
was in
they
the great country.
did another
Ridiculous.
Hold on, we're not going to be over talking each other and getting into chaos.
They're gassing Jews in Germany right now again. We gotta fire
him. I don't like chaos. I want to be able to give everybody a chance to speak and respond, bro. Just please, just chill. So,
All right, you got it.
Chicago, you brought up that we won World War II. Both World War I and World War II, were we involved when they first kicked off, or did we enter those wars at a later date?
America is involved because we are European and we have brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles and grandparents and associates in Europe. We're always involved. You just weren't even alive at the time.
That's not true. Do your research. We were actually isolationists. We didn't want to be involved.
That was a political movement by one man, not necessarily the truth. What I'm saying is there is an elite establishment in America which always has maintained European ties. It's just your lack of awareness.
Why did it take us several years to get involved in those world wars then?
Because we had to build up our military. We weren't prepared. We had to industrialize for it.
We already had our military built up.
We did not have our military built up. Look up the history of the buildup of the military.
Chicago, it's like if you just listen to you, you're telling on yourself with what you're saying.
You know the reason
telling on myself. Hello.
And like a welding gun is because of World War II and American ingenuity, because we didn't know how to build ships that quick and what we needed. We were grossly. Wow.
That's why Europe was losing.
You talk talk about people over talking people, but you do it a whole lot.
It wasn't because it wasn't ships. That's the reason why Europe was losing, because they invested heavily in their navy, and that wasn't that battle in Europe during World War I was not a naval battle. That's why they're losing, because they invested their money in the wrong section of their military. That's why they were losing. So that's why we built our industry up. You understand? We supplied Europe with the fucking arms and the fucking supplies that they needed.
Well, let me interject an interesting.
I understand that you just took the whole story in a different direction than what I was talking about.
Let me interject an interesting historical tidbit that I learned, that the British Empire was able to conquer half the world for one reason, and one reason alone. It wasn't because of their white skin and lack of melatonin density. It was because they were geniuses. They figured out mechanically, called the repeater rifle, how to kill at scale. That's real power. When you chuck a spear, but you chuck 20,000 of them at 8,000 feet per second, that's real fucking power. And that's because they were intelligent and they figured out mechanically how to create automation. And so some of you in this room are not getting paid for your content. And I told you this before. You could complain about those Jews in Jersey who sit there and read a book all day and get paid. But you...
Edmund, I scrolled through channel, you get on average 2 to 7 views, bro. You're not getting paid either. You ain't making shit.
Well, I'm here to complain. I thought this was the Complaint University.
Jewish money is unfucking paralleled, bro. That's overpowered combo.
See, you think that I'm not getting paid, but what if I told you that when I went to Israel, I met with a Mossad agent, and he said, we're gonna pay you. Don't worry about getting paid by Google. We're gonna pay you direct. And so they told me years ago to come to Clubhouse and start recording, and then to run for politics. And I am so happy I met Yerushalayim Ben Silverstein at the Dan Hotel in Tel Aviv, because that guy pays. When I invoice them, they actually pay me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There you go. You just
Dude, I want to convert to Judaism, but I can't fucking move to a Jewish community right now. So I'm just waiting on it.
The thing is, amazing thing about America is you can become Jewish right now if you say it. You can become a Muslim right now if you say it. You can be a Christian, a Hindu, a Buddhist. In America, we got the freedom of religion.
It's the only, like, true conversion.
yeah, cheeseburger. You're tripping, and you know you're tripping, and you know that's not.
Go drink some water. Go drink some water. I think there's a fucking frog in your throat.
As Jewish people of the Jewish faith, this is what they're talking about. Is a political Zionist agenda.
Communist. Yeah. Right.
I'm not talking
I
about
don't know
Jewish
propaganda,
people.
but y'all top to top of this one.
Globalist Jews. Yeah.
See, I listen to these conversations all the time.
Globalist Zionist Christians or
This is
whatever.
just redundancy.
The name, okay, then you can leave Chicago. Nobody's forced.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying for the record.
Conversation was going well until
Until you give me some.
Well, let me give you your compliments, though. So, you let me speak, and I appreciate that and respect that. But I'm just saying that, I'm going to read a book, but God bless you all.
Likewise, sir. Likewise. It's redundant. Then quit coming here then. If you don't like the redundant, it's redundant that you can keep coming into redundancy, bro. On your own free will. That's crazy.
Well, as I just told you about automation, I've actually fully automated Clubhouse, and it's actually in syndication, and you're a part of it. So thank you.
And that's fine. I signed up for it.
Who gets the last laugh?
That's perfectly fine, sir.
You see, you could think of me and Larry David.
That's why I'm the only one. Chicago, that's why I'm the only one out of all these years that hasn't kicked you out of my rooms. I've actually advocated and told other people they're fucking retarded because, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean.
No, you got the right attitude.
Message can be spread to all 6 of his followers.
Well, you have the right attitude. You have the attitude of joy. Most people on this app can't go with the flow like you. That's why you're a strong person. If people had your attitude, they'd be a lot happier in life.
Well, like I said, man, you have a right to disagree. You have a right to, not co-sign my opinion, and that's fine, man. That's fine. That's perfectly fine.
You want to speak on how Trump was angry that he wasn't able to choose the newest leader for Iran?
No, I didn't hear about that. You want to expound on it a little bit?
I'll post an article in the chat. He was just angry that he wasn't able to choose Leader, that's it. Who wants us?
Dude, we want fucking Khomeini's son, dude. He's a fucking gay man.
No, but
With a busted leg. Like, dude, all you've seen is a cardboard cutout with his fucking face on it, and only like Al Jazeera posts of like what his like statements are.
You're not
Like, come on, man.
I'm not so sure what they're really thinking. But I'm talking about, for example, my country.
All right, yo, I'll talk to you later. These bitches is fighting. Bye.
We don't want monarchy. We don't want.
So here is
that way, but you ended up doing a monarchy.
John from John Kitover News. Time for the deepest breath of the day.
We don't have a problem with that because there
it is.
in their armor.
Who is drowning in debt for $48 billion?
Listen, you have to realize that this isn't World War III. Fucking, we've been at this since 2001. This is just one further pimple breakout. It's another breakout, but Trump did a miracle when he got Ayatollah. Trump did a miracle when he got General Soleimani. Trump did a miracle when he's gotten all these other fucking skins. He skinned these motherfucker and ripped their scalps off of them.
That's not true. Then why are we getting? Then why are we able to go in there and fuck them up and reopen that Strait of Hormuz, bro? We're not as powerful as you think, bro. These Persians are smart people, bro. They're not dumb Iraqis. They're not dumb Afghanis, bro. These are smart motherfuckers. This is why they have control over that strait. They have set up. You ever heard of a mosaic command structure in the military, Chicago?
Yeah, have you ever read the Mosaic Bible?
Right. They've been studying us, bro. They've been studying our interaction. This is.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
Hold on one second, and I'll let you go next. But again, they've been studying our centralized command structure, and they set up a mosaic command structure, right? As far as their military is concerned, so we can keep chopping one head off, another one's gonna go right back. We can chop that head off, another one. This is why we haven't. It's not been a quick in and out like it was promised it was gonna be, brother. They have been studying us, and they have been studying our weaknesses. They understand we spend millions, of 50 million, 200 million per missile, and what they do is they spend $50,000 on duds, shoot them up, and then our $1 million missiles are taking out these $20,000 fucking duds, and we're going through our fucking resources as far as our military, and this is why they're able to do the shit that they're doing, bro. This is why they're constructing low tech fucking drones made out of fiberglass and balsa wood with electric motors that can funnel out, filter out the radar detection systems as a flock of birds or a flock of seals, and they're able to strike, brother. Like they're not dumb people. This is why we're having such a hard time over there, and the legacy conservative media is not reporting this fucking side.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's just your opinion that they're not dumb people. But I've met these dumb people, and I think they're retarded. And when they fucking fall, I'm gonna go over there and open up a fucking Chicago cheeseburger franchise and an electric hair removal procedure service. I'm gonna be a fucking billionaire in that country.
Open up a Portillo's over there, bro. For sure.
Not an electric hair removal company. Oh my god.
Well, I'm being facetious, but listen.
If they were so dumb, then we would have been in and out of there.
No, there's no in and out. There's no in and out. There's 100 million people there.
The bomb that I got blown up by that took out my striker. You know what? It was a 155 round that was Iran.
You're talking about Afghanis and Iraqis. They're not the same as Persians. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about Afghan. I'm talking about I fought the Jaish al-Mahdi in Sadr City, which is a Shia group that was backed by Muqtada al-Sadr, run by and he was in Iran, and they were funneling the Ayatollah was funneling a shit into the Sadr City, and all the soldiers that were getting killed by bombs in fucking Baghdad in that area, bro, it was a freaking Iranian fucking proxy.
Okay.
And like you act like I fucking forgot about that shit. Like I don't hold a fucking grudge.
Well, listen to what you're saying. Again, you're in your feelings and you're making this personal, and that's why you sound like a fucking retard right now.
Why?
So
because
again,
I still care about
I'll explain why. I'll explain why. So again, being backed by something is not the same as being the entity itself. That's the fucking difference. So yeah, they can back a bunch of retards, just like we backed a bunch of fucking retards over in the fucking Middle East. right? And they didn't know how to use the shit that we fucking gave them. Again, Russia has been studying this shit. We backed a bunch of retards in fucking Ukraine. This is why they're fucking losing. Okay, so when you back something, but they don't have the actual mental capacity to learn how to strategize and use that weaponry in an efficient manner to make tactical fucking gains, it's not the fucking same. These people build their own shit. They have strategized their own shit. They have studied this from the ground up. It's not the same mentality of a group of people. So that's what the difference is.
Iran might have studied Hitler, bro.
Dude.
All the Blitzkrieg and shit.
No.
All war tactics.
What lightning war
Sig,
besides bombs?
you know, 2 days ago they released an image of the Tora Bora structure that Osama bin Laden they put out, which was fake, that didn't exist, and they're claiming they have these mountain nuclear or these mountain rocket storage facilities where they're able to strike. To me, that's so stupid. Like, if you blow up the fucking entranceway to a fucking shelter, you know, with all this material and all these weapons, you're finished. You can't get the fuck out of the mountain. So to me, it's a lot of it is fake. And if you work at the Pentagon, you got to create happening.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is fake and stupid.
Amen, brother.
But that's just what they do. What do you? This is just War 101, propaganda 101. It's just fucking obvious.
Amen, brother.
But the truth is, America and Pete Hegseth, these are lethal motherfuckers. Pete Hegseth will rip your throat out and stick it up your ass. So these people are fucking with some of the most badass motherfuckers. They better fucking realize real quick that negotiation and embracing America is the way to go. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
This isn't the Joe Biden trans army with trans generals getting, you know, ceremonies at the fucking George Washington Monument. I'm sorry, but those days are over. Now they're dealing with the real mafia, the people that will kill you in the shadows and you won't even know you're dead. That's how badass these people are, and they are fucking ruthless.
So why isn't this operation as clean as the Maduro operation? And explain that to me.
Because there was probably some type of negotiation, and that, you know, that guy that stood up in the Capitol building who Trump praised.
If everything you just said is true, and you're the big top dog, and just go and wipe out where the fuck you want and do whatever the fuck you want, doesn't matter whether they're willing to negotiate or not. You just do what the fuck you got to do, bro.
Listen, I'm just saying that these Iranians, like you claim, they're very smart, but I've met them, and they all have to have rhinoplasty because their noses are so fucking hideous. They got hair all over their backs like they're from 1645 Swamp Creature movies. What I'm telling you is you're overestimating capability. We spend 1.3 trillion a fucking year, and over 25, 26 years, that's over 30 trillion dollars in military weaponry. They are fucking with doomsday. We've got the secret key of destruction.
And what are they doing with that? With all that money, that weaponry we're investing in, they're shooting up fucking duds, and they're spending $20,000 for every fucking $500,000 in missiles because they've gotten smart. And you can't keep up production when you're spending that much. It's not going to last forever, bro.
Listen, Gibson's is still in business. Morton's Steakhouse is still in business. Portillo's is still in business. You think they're going out of business? You think we're going out of business? No, this is business, baby.
Yeah, we just put more money into the economy, bro.
Money we don't have, brother. This is money that we printed out. Who has a big flag?
But you admitted it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. You admitted it. We do have the money. We've got the moat. You know what gives us the money is the moat. Until Washington, D.C. falls, we got a moat to print as much as we need. If we wanted to, we could print 40 trillion overnight and pay the whole debt off like that with money we create out of thin fucking air. It's called magic, baby. It's on your fucking dollars. Look at the symbols. Look at the intelligence on your fucking dollars. It's right there on the money. It's on your fucking money. The Ponzi scheme secret is on the fucking money. Hello? We got a moat, baby. We got a fucking moat. We are in a...
All right. You're not going to turn my stage into a retard show. One person talking at a time. I don't mind you disagreeing, but you're not going to turn this shit into a retarded fucking convention, bro. Let's keep it.
That's true.
May I get in the queue?
Yeah, go ahead, Monica. Yeah, actually, you can go next. Go ahead. You got the phone, Monica. Go ahead.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. This is the Masculinity Mansion. It's led by Fearless Sig, who is a dominating force on Clubhouse. We're talking about Erica Kirk is big mad at Drewski. I didn't hear about her being big mad. I did hear that her team was exploring options to whether Drewski's parody of her. Oh, there's a typo. I think it's Dursky or Druski. That's how you spell Drewski. So I think they're exploring whether or not her saying that she only cares about white men, whether that is defamation and rape, racist, bigoted thing to say. I don't think people can prove that she is. Him, do you know that when you're off mic and you're carrying noise in the background, it distracts speakers from their topic?
Sorry.
Excuse me, Monica, is that you in your PTR? I've never seen your photo. You look beautiful.
Let Monica finish.
So anyway, I don't know if they do plan a lawsuit and I have concerns it probably won't be successful, but we'll see.
Well, that's the thing, Monica. If you say they're not big mad, you don't file a lawsuit. Look at Charlie Kirk when South Park ragged the fuck out of him. He didn't file any lawsuits. He didn't try to get a team together to look for defamation. He just said, hey, this is freedom of speech is what it's about. And it's actually funny as shit. I enjoyed it. So that would be the actions of someone who's not big mad. Someone who's trying to go after someone for just making fun of them and shit. That is indicative of being big mad. So I would have to disagree with you on that, Monica.
Well, I don't think she's made a public statement.
Actually, she did, and
Really?
if you go on to her ex, she's like, she saw it, and she commented that she's like, hey, I'm gonna talk to my makeup team, and I have some things I gotta do.
But pursuing legal action, again, Charlie Kirk didn't pursue.
She really?
No,
Yeah.
look at her. No, she laughed at her. She told her makeup and design team that she needs some help. Like she was like picking at herself because like it was close to home in the parody, and like she laughed at it from everything I've read.
Okay, so you know what she said about the blackface? She said, no, she did blackface. They would consider her a racist that she did that.
I've never seen her in
I
blackface.
posted
Oh God, not a racist! Oh my God!
No, I've just never seen it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, but again, like I said, man, you wouldn't be trying to pursue legal action or talking about for someone just making a fucking funny joke, a funny video. And then I've seen the fake outrage. Tim Pool actually did a excerpt on it, and he had a bunch of guys on his panel. And when they started playing the fucking clip, you can see them guys fucking cracking smiles because it was actually funny. And then after Tim Pool was trying to talk about how insensitive this is, and then the smiles went away. They got all professionally outraged and.
The Wayans brothers are masters at this. Listen, I put a link in the chat. I know some people here want to get smarter and improve their lives and have a better day every day. The link is in the chat. It's called The Practical Rights to Be Greedy, Necessities on Why to Demand Everything. In the end, we weren't greedy enough. This is our country, and SIG is bringing up important issues. But Erica Kirk, as you know, and many of you know women that are very duplicitous, Erica Kirk is a very duplicitous young woman. From all of her little videos that she made and her little CIA content creation, because she's living in her CIA bubble, that's very dangerous. And it's probably not a rifle that took out Charlie. It's probably a shape charge. And, his entire team were Israeli security. So, Charlie was one of us. I'm from Chicago. Charlie Kirk was from here. I know a lot of people that personally know Charlie Kirk. But he would come home and say, good Shabbos. And he would watch American football and just veg out on the couch. He wasn't some pot smoking, Miller High Life drinking, yoga underpant wearing kind of guy. So all I'm trying to tell you is I hope everybody here has a great day. Rabbana Shalom.
Charlie Kirk was taken out by a Mossad agent.
You guys got to stop with this retarded shit. Before you three came in, bro, we were having a good.
Well, I am retarded. I'm the R word.
Hold on, man, stop, bro. Like, y'all gotta stop this Tourette shit, man. It's fucking annoying. Like, say what you gotta say, but add value to the conversation. Quit with all this coming off the mic and this crazy shit, bro.
Right now.
It's gonna be the hallway because I got hand raising off. So when hand raises off, it's the hallway. That's your only options. It's on stage, acting like a conversation, or in the fucking hallway, bro. That's your only option. So go ahead.
Well, I felt like what I was adding was of value. I can't speak for the other people interrupting me, but I thought I was adding something of value. Excuse me, but it's my opinion I was adding value.
Are you done?
No, actually, I'm not. Thank you very little, Monica.
Well, thank you very much. Doc, I don't see Erica's joke reply about makeup. I kind of wish it was true. In the chat is her X account. The last post I saw is from last month. So you have a link that shows she did reply so cleverly to the parody. I'd love to hear it or see it or document it.
Well, I don't know. Brian will have to get back to you. He's with his Mossad handler in Georgia right now. They're picking, peanuts from the trees. So back to complaining about Jewry or Zionists, the Zionist entity.
I have this account. Yeah, I do. Okay.
Oh, you're going to block me, Monica? Thank you very little. All I'm trying to say is I come here to add value, to tickle your feathers. And I keep complaining that you're not getting paid for content while other people are reading books and getting paid daily. And so if you don't like what I have to say, or you don't like my YouTube channel that gets 7 views a video, well, that's a you problem. I'm still a human being that breathes, and I go to the gym and I read a book and I cook a nice dinner and I fuck a beautiful girl from Hinge. What I'm trying to say is everybody's different. Sig is different. Monica is different, who does a lot of race baiting bullshit, but not anymore because she sounds like she's on a power walk. And I'm not trying to personally attack anybody. I'm just asking one question. What's the truth? Does it begin at your birth or does it end at your death? Hello? I'm trying to say, is Clubhouse worth it to you? Make your experience enjoyable. Enjoy yourself. It's your trip. And so the object, the desire, the goal has to be joy.
Can we go back to the topic?
Hello? Okay, I'm complete. It's my opinion I added value. I hope it was proprietary.
But again, the way you want your Clubhouse experience to be molded doesn't apply to everybody else, man. Other people have a way, they have every right to make their Clubhouse experience as they
I know, and so do I. I'm just saying, we're all equals.
So you mold your Clubhouse experience and you enjoy it, and then let other people mold theirs and let them enjoy it.
I know, but I'm just encouraging people to have a good time, to enjoy themselves.
Right, but you doing that, it actually ruins a good time for a lot of people.
Really?
That's what you don't seem to understand. Yes, that's what you don't seem to understand, bro.
Well, what I'm pointing out is this is a vehicle, and many people hear road rage. And when I drive my car, I'm not angry. I'm just happy. There's no reason to drive your car like a maniac.
Niggas swerving across 3 or 4 lanes and we can't pass you because of it, bro. That's why, and that's annoying as shit.
Hello? No, I put the music on and I drive chill.
Stay in your lane and enjoy.
I accelerate slowly. I brake slowly. I'm not looking to scream, hoot, and holler. I'm just trying to say, being a road rager is ineffective, and it's juvenile, and it's pedestrian. I am complete.
The road rager stays in his lane, and that's what we're saying. We can deal with the road rager, bro, but you're swerving in all different kinds of lanes, and you're impeding traffic, and that's what's annoying everybody else. So stay in your lane. You enjoy your driving experience, brother, and then let other people stay in their lane and enjoy their driving experience.
No, I got it. It's just your opinion that I'm swerving and I'm jiving when I'm actually chucking and hawing. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Monica. Jesus Christ.
What percentage do you think it's possible that Erica Kirk either orchestrated or participated in the death of her young husband?
As of right now, I would say 0%.
Charlie Kirk was real.
I don't.
Was that you, Danny?
Evidence to imply that she was directly.
Oh, I thought you were in the other room.
Yes, I would say 0% if I'm being honest.
The Mossad was involved in his death.
And the fact that her and her children are receiving more death threats now than ever after someone successfully assassinated her husband in front of the world. I know you don't believe in sacred cows, that there's no topic that cannot or should not be discussed. Is there any recognition or conciliation toward that when people are coming after her so forcefully?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't condone any death threats to anybody, right? So I don't condone that. But you have to understand, when you make yourself public and you put yourself in a public spotlight, that's kind of par for the course, no matter what your stance is. You're not going to have 100% of people agreeing with your ideology. Therefore, the people who don't agree, you're going to have some fucking spoiled apples and a bunch
G
of
words are responsible for everything.
This is what you sign up for, man. It's par for the course. So I don't condone it. But what I don't like is shutting down the conversation where people, there are a lot of people who are clearly saying the same thing and want to be able to discuss it and question it, and trying to shut down people's freedom of speech. And
Our words are responsible for nothing.
I don't agree with that. You know, I'm sad for your loss. I'm sad you had to witness something like that, especially with your children by your side. But again, we have freedom of speech. You know, that's what we all sign up for, and Charlie Kirk made that extremely clear.
Well, I just want to say that J words are responsible for everything, and R words are responsible for nothing. Personal responsibility.
Jerks are responsible for everything, and retards are responsible for nothing. I can go along with that. Jerks are responsible for everything.
Well, finally, we agree on something I've said. I guess I'm adding value, and my opinion is valued. Thank you very little.
John, I'd like to say I missed you, and I just can't. So.
Oh, thank you very little.
So yeah, Monica, that's why I had the criticism for you when you came in the room, and your immediate response was we were widow bashing, and you know, you had left because I was going to challenge that, but you had took off.
No, you had challenged it, and then I had to leave. And when I can't talk at all, you'll see comments in the chat. So
I didn't see any comments. It was you were hanging out there, and then when I said, okay, now I'm about to challenge Monica, boom, we just dipped the fuck out. No comments in the chat. So
right.
Yeah,
Life
so
happens.
Right, I get that, but don't try to use it like there's comments in the chat.
Am I typically known for avoiding conflict?
And that's why I found it so funny, because I'm like, you typically don't. So, but you know, you're showing up here now, so I'll give you some grace for that. But my thing is that
my Nick's show.
That's that same tactic of someone a widow basher who is critiquing or having a discussion or asking something about something they've seen and witnessed. It'd be the same thing as when you witness something and you have data and you have stats and you want to discuss the ailments in the black community, them calling you racist or black bashers or African American bashers or, you know, bashing black women. It's the same logic. It's a sign of shame. It's a tactic of shame and guilt to try to shut down the criticism and the conversation. And that's what I had a problem with. It's hypocritical.
It's not hypocritical, Sig. It's my nigga show.
Oh, wait, hold on. Try again, Chicago. You almost got it.
I didn't get nothing, Monica. It's just the my nigga show now.
Now you just sound like a cappuccino. So no sacred cows. Nothing is off of the board for discussion.
Everything's open for discussion, man. Yeah, we should be.
So minor attracted persons validating their sexual orientation and preference for little kids. That's a hard discussion for me. I don't think we should imitate that at all.
Yeah, that was really like switching up the goalposts right there.
I was exploring which topics are not.
Right, but here's the thing. What's a hard conversation for you doesn't, you know, it's not a good tactic to shame someone else out of discussing it if it's not a hard discussion for them. There are some topics that are hard discussions for me. Very, very little, very, very few. But I'm not going to come in and shame someone or guilt them out of having the conversation. It's either I engage in the conversation productively to try to challenge any points that I disagree with, or if it's too hard for me, then I just leave quietly and exit, and then I let the other people who are more geared to have that discussion have it.
A point of order, moderator, point of order.
On Erica Kirk's history and reputation, when I hear people, and this was substantiated in a room yesterday, that the ASL hand gesture for I love you is actually devil horns and she's worshiping Satan, there's not a lot of room for discussion for those people who are determined to find her evil. So,
I agree with you. Yeah, because even with Candace Owens, like, look, I've been seeing the receipts Candace Owens dropping. But when she starts going to this Illuminati, Masonic shit, and that's when I'm turned on. I'm like, okay, you're going too far with it. Like, that's just fucking. Just stick with the facts, stick with the receipts that you've shown, and then just leave it at that. But you start going into this fucking all this crazy shit, then it's like, okay, so I get, and I'm with you on that. But again, out of 350 million people in this country, you're gonna have a bunch of fucking retards. No
Sid, can I?
What point you make, they're just gonna be fucking retards. And you trying to change your mind. Again, it's the same. Never play chess with a pigeon. Why? Because the pigeon's gonna knock all the pieces off the board, shit all over the board, and then strut around like they fucking want. That's what it's like arguing.
I've heard they'll knock all of the pieces over, crap on the board, and then brag that they won. Yeah, that's how I heard that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? So who here thinks that Monica is racist or Drewski is racist? Because to me, no one is racist. This is comedy, and it transcends your opinion. And you're going to have a bad opinion on your answer. It's my opinion your opinion is going to be a bad opinion. But does anyone here think that Monica is a racist or Drewski, the comedian, is a racist? And it's inappropriate to do this to Charlie Kirk's widow out of respect for Charlie. Like, say what you want about Erica, but, Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, is a martyr. And if you don't think that young man's assassination shouldn't wake you up and tickle your anus with a feather and make you think twice about some shit, really about personal responsibility and security, because let's be honest, if you get assassinated and you're up in heaven looking down and you say, you know what, I probably should have been more aware about what was happening around me. Because if Charlie had observers or recorders or spies, word would have gotten back to him. But some people don't take the proper precautions to check all the calls coming in and out of the house. Hello?
Chicago, can I ask you a question here?
Hello?
Do you believe, talking about Charlie possibly looking down from heaven, do you think that he thinks what his wife is doing is appropriate to relay the message that he was trying to relay?
I can answer that question very succinctly, and I'll just say, when you get to heaven, if you're still looking down at your bitch ex-wife, you ain't in heaven, bitch.
Ex-wife, they were married when he went to heaven. And again, if we're going to consider, like everything that's really said about Erica, right? Erica, there's really no need to make fun of a widow if the widow is not doing things that are truly abnormal. Like the way that she behaves herself and the way that she has conducted herself post Charlie Kirk's death has been, other than a circus. Going out and whatever you want to say about Drewski, the video of her going out to sparklers and fireworks going off no joke would be made if you didn't treat.
Even if she's a widow, she's still entitled to create art. Many people think my surrealist YouTube comedy videos are totally inappropriate and ridiculous, but to me, it's just art, and you're just a critic. And that's all you are, Keegan. Have a little respect for Charlie Kirk and take Erica Kirk's name out of your fucking bitch-ass mouth.
And again, I think that just no one is immune to criticism. And criticism can come in many forms. And once being criticized, especially by good swaths of people, humor, comedy comes into play. And, in comedy, we find some truths. And the truths are that Erica Kirk has treated this situation with her husband being a martyr as someone, like, we truly had in one moment of our nation, when Charlie Kirk died, there was a moment where everyone would have felt justified if Trump and the DOJ went after every single politician, every single media member, every single individual who had decided to use rhetoric against the shooting, against assassination, against conservatives. Everyone, there was a moment where we could have probably fixed our nation, but that moment was squashed when Erica Kirk decided to walk up and say, I forgive that man, because we don't, allegedly it was him who did it, but I forgive that one lone man, and I'm going to go walk out in front of, tens of thousands of people with fireworks on my back. And then that's really the issue I have with the Charlie Kirk and Eric.
Wait, why was that bad?
Why is that bad? Is because it shows a lack of, again, in my opinion, it shows a lack of, actual sense of mourn, right? When I look at a woman who's walking out to tens of thousands of people in a stadium just days after her husband gets killed, assassinated. Not again.
Well, it was a very unique situation. Maybe she was radicalized and galvanized. I mean, she was, not only did she lose her husband, but her husband was this particular figure who stood for this particular thing, and he was killed for this particular reason.
But and I made it very clear to my wife. I said, if you ever get killed in front of me, I won't forgive the person, especially publicly. I'll unite for a form of, something like PTR, retribution. Right? I'm looking for true retribution against the killer of my loved one.
Well, that makes sense. The quick forgiveness is but maybe that's her type of Christian.
Disingenuous.
It's disingenuous. It almost seems performative. It makes you think that there's larger pieces at play here.
But being a public figure whose husband was
isn't it obvious that Erica Kirk was an actress?
I don't know.
That's also true. Erica Kirk has a really interesting past. I mean, if anyone wants to look it up, just look.
Yeah, Keegan, her videos, you got to understand, this woman has spent her whole life creating videos. She thinks she's a beautiful artist and a darling. But Keegan, please, out of respect for Charlie Kirk, take Erica Kirk's name out your motherfucking mouth.
Well, Charlie Kirk and his wife, okay? So
At
the end of the day, hey, what did Trump say about Robert Mueller's death? What did he say? In verbatim, what did he say?
Well, it was a beautiful death, probably.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's glad that he's gone.
He died like a dog.
Good, I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people.
You know, Robert Mueller was a Vietnam veteran and a badass, and Trump was a bowler. But Trump outmastered all of them with the power of wit and the power of words. The pen is mightier than the sword. And when you achieve the pinnacle of power like Donald Trump, then you can come back here and complain all you want. The truth of the earth is that Charlie Kirk was a good person, but a naive person. He was unaware of what was happening around him. If he only had a way to detect the truth or somebody to come and warn him, he could still be with us here right now.
Chicago,
Hello?
Your submission's 30 seconds.
Hello?
Yeah, respect, I know that you wanted to go, so go
Hello?
ahead. My friend...
Listen, I want to pass the mic to my friend, but I think Sig...
Chicago, chill.
Hello?
Last warning, bro. Last warning. It's either the stage or the hallway, bro. You pick. But hand raising's off. Those are the only two options.
Okay, well, you got... I want everybody to witness what fascism is. I am complete. Hello?
Okay.
Essentially being anti-Semitic towards you, Chicago.
We're going to go respect my friend, and then we'll open it back up.
No, Keegan, I was just bringing up that point. It's like people were mad and sad about Charlie Kirk and his death, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, you can't say that about Charlie Kirk." And then Trump said what he said about Robert Mueller, and nobody says anything. So
that's absolutely right.
That's the only question.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's a good assessment to make. There is that. Are you going to be hypocritical? Because no one cares about Robert Mueller dying. No one cares about. But even if Charlie Kirk was a bad person, whether or not you have that debate of whether you liked him, the way that he died publicly in a very humiliating, disgraceful manner, it should be known that is a very consequential moment in American politics and American history. A public assassination done to a pretty large individual. And the reaction from it, again, there was a moment where you had conservatives all over feeling that it was justified to do a lot of things that maybe we consider like authoritarian. But that moment passed, again, the second that Eric Kirk decided to make the whole thing a laughable event. Her doing...
It's your opinion that she made it a laughable event. That's ludicrous.
Sure, it's my opinion, but it's an opinion held by...
How are you remotely like putting Mueller, who died at 81 from Parkinson's, to Charlie Kirk being assassinated? How are you even remotely conflating those 2 points of view?
Well, we're not you didn't hear. We're not conflating the two. We're saying that no one mourns. Right? No one mourns the wicked, which is a quote from Wicked that my wife loves. But no one mourns the wicked, and I think that's Respect's point, is that no one mourns Mueller for dying. Trump especially.
Well, no, my main point was like, Trump's response, as far as him saying, "Hey, good, he died. I don't give a fuck." Whereas people said the same thing about Charlie Kirk, and it's like, "Oh, you can't say that about him. You can't say you don't give a fuck about." Like, you couldn't do that about Charlie Kirk. But when Trump did it, like, again, nobody said.
They said the same thing about Hulk Hogan and Chuck Norris.
Has it occurred to the Goyim that Charlie Kirk was shot by Mossad?
First and foremost, what the fuck is a Goyim? So let me
explain to him, please, what the Goyim is.
See, listen, I hate to interject, and I'm not trying to, cause anybody here to be emotionally frictionized, but Chuck Norris did go to Israel and meet with Netanyahu and say, "I will always support Israel," because Chuck Norris knows that strength is the joy of the world, and the strength of the world is the law. And many here will never talk about the law, but you will do low-hanging Jew hate commentary. And if you pick on the weakest, I am not complete. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. I'm just giving some personal advice. I'm not Jewish. My mother's not Jewish. She's gorgeous. And what I'm telling you is, if you pick on Jews, that makes you a Jew, because that makes you weak and pathetic, right? But if that's what you like to pick on, and Jew is your favorite juice to pick out of a tree, well, you might be a Jew picker. And if you spend your whole life picking Jews out trees, you'll never learn the truth of the earth.
I love the amazing narratives, always.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Go ahead.
He wasn't wrong though.
No, hey, stop. We're gonna let my friend go. He's been waiting.
Let's now that that's cleaned up, let's just go ahead.
I'd like to reiterate what John Kitover just said.
Nah, we're off that. First of all, Jews are not exempt from criticism, and it's not picking on Jews. Jews are just as open to criticism as anybody else, bro. Nobody's buying that shit anymore. Bro. So it is what it is. You're in America. You signed up for freedom of speech. You're gonna be criticized just like the blacks, just like the Christians. That's the one thing, man. Like the Christians, I've criticized the Christians so much on this app, and I have to give them credit, is that they've engaged in the conversation. Never tried to shut the conversation down. Never accuse, "Oh, you're anti-Christian." Again, man, it's everybody sees it with their own eyes. The minute you criticize Jews, even mildly, my friend, you missed it. I had a huge room a few weeks ago, and no criticism, no picking on Jews. I didn't even allow anything negative as far as Jews. Anybody came up?
I'm not accusing you of that. I'll be very succinct. Let me just say, when you go to the buffet, you don't just eat juice meat. You don't. You eat everything. Where's your taco and burrito item? They kicked me.
I was saying global warming.
There's proof of global cooling.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. If I said global warming, that's my bad, right? But at the same time, I think and I do believe that I mentioned climate change because I'm familiar with the fluctuations in climate, and that they're going to do that weird ass chess move. Like you said, global warming. Why is it cold? That's a dumbass argument. But my thing to you, Kazi, is this. Look, most
log of, hey, I'm hearing when I call the landline back home to the family in Iran that, they're having, speakeasy meetups for Iranian resistance, to help
help the Americans or the Israelis. You know, there's none of that. And I understand it.
About you. So again, we have rules here, and I let you speak your piece. You can interrupt for a quick, succinct point. It's always been my fucking rules, right? It's always been my fucking. I even do. You know how many times I mute my mic when I'm talking and someone wants to jump in or just challenge something, the very direct point that I made, and I go on mute and I let them go. I do it all the fucking time. That's called an organic conversation. I don't mind that. But when it starts getting retarded and you got several people coming off the mic, and then the conversation, the quality of the conversation goes down, and we can't get anywhere with the discussion. That's always been my premise. I've never strayed from that. This is the 5 years I've been on this app.
You've done that multiple times already today.
Again, and I let people do it to me. I let people do it to me as well. If we're having a back and forth linear conversation, I allow people to interrupt me, to interject briefly, to challenge a quick point so we can get past that point and then move on. I allow it to be done to me, so I do it to other people. As long as it's not disrupting the
feeling that it was justified to do a lot of things that maybe we consider like
times today. And you steered what I was trying to make a point about to what you wanted to talk about, rather than me trying to land my fucking plane.
It's your opinion that she made it a laughable event. That's ludicrous.
Okay, so when you first came to this room, you had the mic for about 2 minutes. Interrupted. And then the conversation
Parkinson's.
So again, when you made your submission, you uninterrupted and you had a back and forth without interrupting.
we're not going to do it, and you were saying that that was something else. Like no one works with Wicked, which is a
Wicked point that I allow other people to do to me.
my wife loves. No one mourns the wicked, and I think that's Respect's point. Is that no one mourns Mueller for dying. Trump especially.
What about my point was like, well, Trump's response as far as him saying, hey, you really died. Whereas people said the same thing about Trump America. I was like, oh, you can't say that about him. You can't say that about Trump. Like, you can't say that about Trump America. Or Trump did it. Like, I thought about the well-known. They said the same thing about Trump. They did it in America for America.
Bro, dude, don't even speak. And you turned it into Europe.
First and foremost, what the fuck are we doing?
It's always been my premise. I'm not being hypocritical. There are several people who have been over years on stage. I let people.
Listen, I hate to interject, and I'm not trying to, cause anybody here to be emotionally frictionized. But Chuck Norris did go to Israel and meet with Netanyahu and say, "I will always support Israel," because Chuck Norris knows that strength is the joy of the world, and the strength of the world is the law. And many here will never talk about the law, but you will do low-hanging Jew-hate commentary, and if you pick on the weakest, if you pick on, I am not complaining. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. I'm just giving some personal advice. I'm not Jewish. My mother's not Jewish. She's going to. And what I'm telling you is, if you pick on Jews, that makes you a Jew, because that makes you weak and pathetic, right? But if that's what you like to pick on, and Jew is your favorite Jews to pick out of a tree, you might be a Jew hater. And if you spend your whole life picking Jews out of trees, you'll never learn the truth of the earth.
We're talking about just Jesus Christ, man. He fucking crashed the stage all the time.
Now that's cleaned up, let's just go ahead and
being sincere.
I didn't say
that was a
no, sir, you getting drunk and not being able to have a coherent conversation is not personality, that is inaction.
I'm not talking about yesterday, I'm talking about now. Bro, you must need to shine your boot.
Yeah, so again, when people say Doc on this app, because it happened earlier before you even came in the room, oh my God, that motherfucker gets so fucking shit-faced and crashes fucking stages. That is a reputation you built up for yourself based on your fucking actions, bro. So I'm not criticizing your personality. I'm criticizing the actions that you consistently displayed over 5 years on this fucking app, and that's why you lack credibility and fucking respect on this app. And you get kicked out of
I got zero fucks to give about like that. The problem is y'all don't want to push back because you want people to follow in line.
Bob Fioretti is following me!
If I didn't want to take the pushback, you wouldn't be in this room right now, and you wouldn't have had a chance to say what the fuck you said earlier, and had plenty of mic opportunity. So that's another lie. You're still here, and you've been challenging me the whole time, and you're not gone. So again, that's a fucking lie. Get out of your
Bob!
Yeah, go ahead and interrupt next time I make another fucking point of view.
Well, here's the deal, sir. You make your own room. Because I have a reputation, again, 5 years when I go into other people's spaces, I don't interrupt mods and I don't show my ass the way that you fucking do. So if you bother to read the rules of this room, when mods are establishing order in this room, everybody's going to go you. And if you come off, you get fucking kicked down to the goo. That's for everybody. That's fair against everybody. But I can have several people that vouch for me that even when I'm having a back and forth discussion with people, they interrupt me for a solid point and I mute up. I stop. That's the problem with the majority, y'all. When someone else opens their mouth, you don't know how to shut the fuck up. And I do that several times.
Kitover with Kitover Network News.
Tonight, someone tries to interject, I stop. Mid-sentence and let them rebut my actual point right there on the spot that they're making because I think that's fair.
I'm John Kitover.
So, cry me a river, bro. If you don't like it here, you're free to leave. Nobody's fucking holding you your house. This is what I don't understand, man. You complain about how people run their fucking spaces, and you constantly come to these spaces, and you hang out for fucking hours in these spaces. If it's so goddamn bad, then just don't come here, bro. You won't be missed, I promise. You will not fucking be missed. Yeah. I'm saying these fucking retards, bro. Oh my god, man. Yeah, it seems like it, man. Jesus fucking Christ. It's projection too, man. And niggas that do the most shit, they project that shit onto everybody else, man. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, we had a few people pop in here. We had Edie pop in, Augustus.
What's going on, Augustus? What's up, go out? Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Hey, how's it going?
This is why I gotta take a week off at a time on this app, bro. Fry your brain.
Don't forget to pause notifications.
I was just say something quick about Erica because I'm like trying to, play devil's advocate. I'm like, okay, so you don't want the momentum of TPUSA to stop, right? But I understand there's that, and then there's what she's doing, which you have to be aware of the optics, right? She's not an idiot. She's got people. It's just
When the
it's
opposite
too
is
much. I
recast
just
or
can't.
projected,
It's too much, and especially as somebody pointed out that she had said she forgives the guy, but you still need to make a point. We will not stand for somebody assassinating somebody for what they said, and it seems like that just kind of was completely gone, and it was just such a show. I just can't. I can't wrap my head around the way she's been behaving since his death.
You know, I agree with you because one of Charlie's main things was, conversation should not escalate into violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was his main thing, is having civil discourse and just learning to agree to disagree, but still having respect for each other, man. Yeah, you're right. The message is totally fucking lost. But I wanted to push back on Keegan because as far as the forgiveness thing, like, I can't knock her for that because I've seen a lot of Christians who lose family members, especially when someone's son or daughter or spouse gets murdered, and that family says, you know what, but because of my faith, because of my love of Jesus Christ, the way God has shown forgiveness and mercy, through the blood of Jesus Christ, I'm going to extend that because my Lord. That's something I really commonly see Christians do. They're willing to forgive such, something as murder because they want to follow their faith. Bit of pushback.
And I know that I know that too, and I recognize that.
The United States Congress, read by candidate Congressman John Kitover. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit,
It is.
make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of the Congress, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state, or with a foreign power, or engage in war, unless actually invaded, or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the Vice President, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress. But no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, of whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. And they shall make a list of all the persons voted for, and of the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the President, if such number be a majority of the whole number of the United States Congress, read by candidate Congressman John Kitover. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of the Congress, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state, or with a foreign power, or engage in war, unless actually invaded, or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the Vice President, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress. but no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, of whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. And they shall make a list of all the persons voted for, and of the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the President, if such number be a majority of the whole number of the United States Congress. Read by candidate Congressman John Kitover. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of the Congress, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded, any treaty, alliance. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of the Congress, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded, or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the Vice President, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress, but no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, of whom one at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. And they shall make a list of all the persons voted for, and of the number of votes for each, which list They shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the President, if such number be a majority of the whole number of the United States Congress, read by candidate Congressman John Kitover. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto.
What he could have been, people automatically was like, fuck this guy. I don't give a fuck about him. And that's exactly what a lot of people did. And so I'm sorry that the people who didn't understand maybe should have asked, hey, why do some people feel the way they feel about
want any shortcuts and all of that. Like,
I don't care about Buddy. I don't care. I have my own shit going on. I don't care. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like. I saw people kicking people out of rooms because they didn't have any sympathy, you know, and people have a right to feel the way that they feel about something as sick and twisted as it is, bro. But again,
Alright, so sorry shutting down. I just want to film my account, show you all the videos I have. Shut Kitover, one of the mayor of Chicago. Most of
it sucks, man, but you gotta get the fuck over it, bro. They have the right to their opinion, as fucked up as it is.
It's work. As hurtful as it can be, man.
You hear all those cops, all those ambulances? Well, I just got to say, Donald Trump has proven, in my opinion, beyond a... You kicked me again.
Taxes went up again this year. On a house like mine, it's over $3,000 now, and that's before all the add-ons. You can see it right here, $3,192 for the property tax, plus a $68 water tax and a $54 garbage tax. Utilities keep climbing too. Taxes went up again this year. On a house like mine, it's over $3,000 now, and that's before all the add-ons. You can see it right here, $3,192 for the property tax, plus...
When you hear the response of certain people of the reason of why they don't care or are happy that he passed away, are you receptive to that, or are you like you still don't care what they think? I don't know if she's still here, Monica, or
she's here. Happy is a word. So you're happy you got his head took off?
Who?
I'm asking.
Me? I don't care about the guy. I don't know nothing about him. I don't really care.
Yeah, so people are happy he got his head took off. It don't matter. If they're sad, it don't matter. Whatever, you're just indifferent.
Yep. Just like, but if you ask me about Trump, that's a different thing. Him and his kids, that's something completely different, which I'm not going to say any terroristic things on his app, but I will say that, So, Key, what Trump said about Mueller, was that a Christian thing to say?
I don't know what he said, to be honest with you.
He said he was glad he was dead. But here's the thing, too. Gotta remember what Mueller did to Trump. Or tried to do with Trump. Tried to lock the man up and take away his fucking freedom. You know, again, if someone falsely lock me up and make my life a living hell and take away my freedoms and shit, I'd be like, yeah, I'm glad that motherfucker died too. Fuck him, you know what I'm saying? So
makes sense.
There's context of that shit, but with Charlie Kirk, the difference is all Charlie did was have conversations based on an ideology. Like, he didn't try to fuck with people. He didn't try to infringe on people's rights. He didn't, Like he wasn't being rude or disgusting towards me. Like it's two totally different things. So in the Robert Mueller situation, I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker tried to do the shit to me that Mueller did to Trump. Oh, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that motherfucker, man. I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah, I think a lot of us would say the same thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and one thing too is like Christians, aren't like this sweet stereotype that people have.
They aren't?
Right? Like, the idea is that you were a sinner. Like, Jesus spoke to the people who were in jail. He spoke to the addicts and alcoholics. He spoke to the tax collector, the one that everybody hated. Those were his followers.
That's right.
So if somebody says something out of line, doesn't mean that they're any less Christian. It just means that they're human. And this stereotype that the Christian needs to be a prairie dog on the fucking on the prairie plain, and everything is meadows and butterflies and blowjobs.
Right, it's bullshit.
Is nutty.
Well, it doesn't sound bad though.
Yeah. It's like blowjobs.
Gosh, it ain't gonna suck itself, right, boys?
I
mean, it is if you have the Bluetooth adapter.
Oh, God, come on, guys. My point was that, my point being that, him saying, that Trump saying something out of line, about the guy dying and him being happy about it, doesn't make him less of a Christian. It makes him more of a sinner, which makes him actually create a window of opportunity for him to get closer to God.
Okay, well, hopefully the same thing happens to me when he dies. I love to get closer to God.
What'd you say?
I said, hopefully the same thing happens with me, man. I want to get closer to God when he dies. Hope so.
That's right.
Hey, man, you just said it, man. I'm a sinner. I'm human, and I get to have my thoughts. I'm not going to nobody. If I wish death on his kids, himself, and his wife, I don't mean nothing. I'm just having my thoughts, and I'm just pray about it, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, especially if you're actually praying about it, I think that you will be all right. But, you got to put it up as a sacrifice. You got to repent in Christianity.
Nah.
Well, I don't know then. I don't know. You gotta be like, yo, listen, I'm Catholic, right? But I have very non-denominational views on things, which makes me theologically kind of like not the most favored in the church.
Renegade.
What?
Renegade.
Yeah, kind of like a renegade in the theology. But, yeah, no, man, like, her forgiving, I don't think was for, getting right with God. I think it's just a part of, what I think it is, it's like, this isn't for other people, it's for yourself. So it might have been like something that she thought needed to be taken, steps early taken for her to find peace. But what do I know? I really don't like her that much, so I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt here.
No, that makes sense. That she made a declaration.
Why don't you like her? What's wrong with Erica?
see your PTR, man.
Hi, Sig. How's it going?
What's up, Koala? How you doing, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm going to listen for a while. I just joined the room.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're talking about a bunch of politics and religion and shit. So just whatever's on the table, man. Open topic. Nothing's exempt.
Okay. So, how about I just tell you that, that there's got a data regarding this war, what is going on. Okay, your Royal United Service Institute released the data. Okay, it's kind of funny because what it says is how many missiles the United States had fired air defense and how many missiles have been fired by Iran. So Iran actually fired 1,300 ballistic missiles and 3,555 drones, whereas America has fired 12 JASSM and 535 Tomahawk, 320 ATACMS, and on air defense, 1,285 Patriots, 563 something, and it's like 3,448 missiles have been fired by the United States in comparison to 1,300 ballistic missiles.
Wait, how many has Iran fired versus the U.S.? What was the total?
Iran has fired 1,300 ballistic missiles, along with 3,550 drones, right? And America has fired the weapons 912 JASSM, 535 Tomahawks, and 320 ATACMS. That will be like 1,767. And with the air defense missiles, it's 3,448. It's like 3 times more than what they have fired.
Right, they're still floating above water. That's great.
Bro, this is great.
Right, like the idea is that you were a sinner. You know? Like Jesus spoke to the people who were in jail. He spoke to the addicts and alcoholics. He spoke to the tax collector, the one that everybody hated. Followers. That's right. So if somebody says something out of line, doesn't mean that they're any less Christian. It just means that they're human.
Yeah, you look really cute.
And the stereotype that the Christian needs to
Beautiful.
be a prairie dog on the fucking on the prairie plain, and everything is meadows and butterflies and blowjobs. Right? It's bullshit. It's nutty. Well, it doesn't sound bad though. Yeah. Nick's like blowjobs. Gosh, I mean, you know. Ain't gonna suck itself, right, boys? I mean, it is if you have the Bluetooth adapter. My point was that, my point being that, him saying that Trump saying something out of line, about the guy dying and him being happy about it, doesn't make him less of a Christian. It makes him more of a sinner, which makes him actually create a window of opportunity for him to get closer to God. Okay, well, hopefully the same thing happens to me when he dies. I love to get closer to God. What'd you say? I said, hopefully the same thing happens with me, man. I want to get closer to God when he dies. Hope so. That's right. Hey, man, you just said it, man. I'm a sinner. I'm human, and I get to have my thoughts. I'm not going to nobody. If I wish death on his kids, himself, and his wife, that don't mean nothing. I'm just having my thoughts, and I'm going to pray about it, and I'll be all right. Right, like, the idea is that you were a sinner.
marquee and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation, contract, or grant any title of nobility.
Good job with DMX.
Or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of tonnage, enter into any agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage.
Nope, taxes went up again. The property tax.
The divine expression exactly as I am, right here, right now. You are the divine expression exactly as you are, right here, right now.
Dawson asses, please.
Nothing, absolutely nothing needs to be added or taken away. Nothing is more valid or sacred than anything else. No conditions need to be filled. The infinite is not somewhere else waiting for us to become worthy. The life story that has apparently happened is uniquely and exactly appropriate for each awakening. All is just as it should be right now, not because it is a potential for something better, but simply because all that is divine expression. What is liberation? It is to be free of personal identity. It is to be free from the hypnosis of conditioning, to be free from the magnetic influence and compulsiveness of the psychological mind. It is to recognize that you are not an object, that this body is an inadequate representation of being, and is only a vessel through which consciousness and the vital force act in the portrayal called life. Recognize the naturalness that you are, pure, all-pervasive, space-like, ever-expressing, spontaneous presence awareness, with no reference point, self-nature, having any substance or independent existence. Failing to recognize naturalness, the unity of appearance and emptiness, space and its content, delusion happens and there is a grasping of or fixation on appearance, me, and the other, a seeming duality. Without that fixation, there is freedom as naturalness. Delusion dissolves in evenness, non-duality remains. The natural state simply this, nothing else. Naturally remaining as naturalness. Equanimity is the natural, effortless meditation of no one to meditate and nothing to meditate on. No trying to get or trying to avoid, just effortless being, which is already so. Recognize this again and again. Try to remember the main points. Birth and death are like going to sleep at night and waking up in the morning. When you go to sleep at night, you die. When you dream, it's like being on an astral plane. And when you wake up in the morning, it's like being born.
It's John from John Kitover News. Time for the deepest breath of the day. There it is. Best one yet. Make sure you take yours. John Kitover. John Kitover. Who is drowning in debt? Over $48 billion. Every year we pay more in interest than we spend keeping our neighborhoods safe. That debt means higher taxes and fewer services. Families and small businesses feel it every. Property taxes are on the rise again, and that's only part of what homeowners will be paying more for next year. Council approved a new water tax and a higher garbage fee as utility rates continue climbing. Up 15%, water tax up 20, garbage tax, they call it a sanitation fee, but it still smells. In the utilities, the only thing going down is my bank account. Total is, hold on. On a house like mine, it's over $3,000 now, and that's before all the add-ons. You can see it right here, $3,192 for the property tax, plus a $68 water tax and a $54 garbage tax. Utilities keep climbing too.
Water tax, garbage tax, they find a way to tax the air, I'm done.
At these prices, hold your breath, might save $1.
Electricity's through the roof too.
Essentially, like summary killing.
The East. All put.
Anybody that's like, that speaks up against Israel, and they're Jewish. And these people would do any kind of shit that's including a normal baby and a bunch of these psychopaths.
I have a breakable. Physics. Gosh. It's hard to make sure I have it. That the cap.
No, did you guys see that online?
It's fucking morons. We all support our fucking imperialism. Don't fucking argue with them, right? Because she's spitting facts. Don't take it personally. She's not talking about you. She's talking about American and British Empire, the Anglo-American Empire that seeks to dominate the entire Western Hemisphere. Don't fucking tell her she's talking shit. She's speaking facts. Which is exactly what we all have shit. I'm supporting genocide. And that is a reality.
Trash out, trash out.
Nobody in this fucking Western world is taking a stand. They're all pussy. Fucking riot for fucking abortion. We fucking riot for fucking ICE. But we don't fucking riot against fucking Israel. We don't fucking riot over Epstein. Because we are fucking cooked. It's fucking morons. We all support our fucking imperialism. Don't fucking argue with them, Rose, because she's spitting facts. Don't take it personally. She's not talking about you. She's talking about American and British Empire, the Anglo-American Empire that seeks to dominate the entire Western Hemisphere. Don't fucking tell her she's talking shit. She's speaking facts. Which is exactly what we all have shit. I'm supporting genocide. And that is a reality.
Trash out, trash out.
Nobody in this fucking Western world is taking a stand. They're all fucking pussy. Fucking riot for fucking abortion. We fucking riot for fucking ICE. But we don't fucking riot against fucking Israel. We don't fucking riot over Epstein. Because we are fucking cooked. It's fucking morons. We all support our fucking imperialism. Don't fucking argue with them, Rose, because she's spitting facts. Don't take it personally. She's not talking about you. She's talking about American and British.
Freedom Association.
We all support our fucking imperialism. Lights up on the emotion.
Falling under skin. I'm running like a wildfire, can't stop. Drawn to the fire. You play like a chrysalis. Too close to touch, too far to fight. Falling under skin to skin. Drawn to the fire, I can't begin. You play like a chrysalis. Too close to touch, too far to fight. Under skin to skin. Drawn to the fire, I can't begin. You play like Icarus in light. Too close to touch, too far to fight. Falling under skin to skin. Drawn to the fire, can't begin. You play like Icarus in light. Too close to touch, too far to fight.
He stepped from the dust of a dying parade. Cards in his cup, little cracks in his shade. Eyes like a clock that refused to tick on. Muttered a word, and the daylight was gone. Rain froze midair over
screens went blind. All the numbers went slide. Traitors have turned with their phones in their hands. A child on a swing never made it back. Frozen mid-life over empty sand. He walked through the hall where the generals dream. Touched every map with a fingertip gleam. Turned all the orders to ash in the air. Left us all sleeping in borrowed prayer. Sleep of the whole wide world, every tongue tied in the same soft curl. He said hush, and the highways down to one deep universal spell. Wide world, every flag folded, every fist unfurled. One bright red through every mind he held in that slow universal spell. Did he mean mercy? Did he mean hope? Taking the guns from a trembling arm. Did we feel small? Or finally tall? When nobody wanted a crown at all. Sleep of the whole wide world, every tongue tied in the same soft curl. He said hush, and the storms all fell, quiet as dust on an iron sleep of the whole wide world, every fear faded, every fist unfurled. Woke to a heart we barely knew we fell from that long universal spell. He stepped from the dust of a dying parade. Cards in his cuff, little cracks in his shade. Eyes like a clock that refused to tick on. Muttered a word and the daylight was gone. Rain froze mid-air over rusted up cars. Birds hung like notes between telephone scars. I watched my own hands slipping out of my sleeve. Slow as a thought I was trying to leave. Sleep of the whole wide world, every tongue tied in the same soft curl. He said hush, and the highways down to one deep universal spell. Sleep of the whole wide world, every flag folded, every fist unfurled. One bright thread through every mind he held in that slow universal spell.
Evening, I'm Karen.
Council is spent beyond its means.
All the numbers went slack. Traders have turned with their phones in their hands. A child on a swing.
The city of Chicago is filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. This filing.
Frozen midlife over empty sand. He walked through the halls where the generals dream.
Evening, I'm Karen Lewis. Chicago's mayor has taken a dramatic step tonight, filing for municipal bankruptcy and aiming to wipe out $100 billion in pension debt. He says it will free the city to grow.
closer. One blink and the traffic stalled. Every screen turned the same soft color. Then you call. Sleep, my little world. Fall under. Velvet sleep over the world. Every eye like glass. Every dream blown open. Velvet sleep over the world. You were scribbling signs, little spirals on a paper cup, murmuring words like a language only the stars picked up. One breath and the clocks lean closer. One blink and the traffic stalled. Every screen turned the same soft color. Then you call. My little world falls under velvet sleep over the world. Every eye like glass, every dream blown open. Velvet sleep over the world. Who's gonna wake us, wake us, wake us? Who's gonna break your world?
Counsel is spent beyond its means. Counsel is spent beyond its means.
Candles in a spiral on the floor. Chalk line symbols on the door. Robes hang heavy, velvet red. Old words burning in my head. Silver smoke crawling on my skin. Hear them whisper, let us in. Black moon hanging, hardly moves. Every shadow starts to move. You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson eye, I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just flick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the dark design, you say sleep, my will unwinds. I fall in the circle of the crimson eye.
Tonight, Chicago Mayor John Kitover has filed for municipal bankruptcy.
Chicago's mayor has taken rings cold on the back of my neck. Clock can't spin in, time runs thin. Your voice curls like a serpentine. You say my name and the walls all bad. Truth and terror start to blend. Thoughts like marionette strings. You tug once and my body sings. You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson eye, I can't remember what I used to feel like. You just flick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the dark design, you say sleep and my will unwinds. I fall in the circle of the crimson eye. Snap of your fingers, colors crash, past life surface, futures flash. Am I the weapon or the prize? Who's casting who inside these eyes? Take back the fire you fed in me. Break your chains or set me free. But every time you say now rise, I kneel deeper to your lies. Yeah. You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson eye, I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just flick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the dark design, say sleep and my will unwinds. I fall
tax rates, our families were staring down. Not anymore. On day one, we are cutting property taxes by 50%.
Candles in a spiral on the floor, sharp lines, symbols on the door. Robes hang heavy, velvet red, old words burning in my head. Silver smoke crawling up my skin, hear them whisper, let us in. Black moon hanging, hardly moves, every shadow starts to move. You got me under your spell tonight, in the circle of the crimson. I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just think your hand is still
property tax rates, our families were staring
of the darkest. Say sweet, then my will unwinds. I fall in the circle of the crimson night. Cards cut clean from a crooked deck. Gold rings gold on the back of my neck. Clock hands spinning, time runs thin. Your voice curls like a serpentine. You say my name and the walls all bend. Truth and terror start to blend. Thoughts like marionette strings. You talk once and my body sings. You got me under your spell tonight, in the circle of the crimson eye. I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just stick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the dark inside. You say sweet and my will unwinds. I fall in the circle of the crimson night. Snap of your fingers, colors crash. Past the surface, futures flash. Am I the weapon or the prize? Who's casting who inside these eyes? Take back the fire you fed in me. Break your chains or set me free. But every time you say now rise, I kneel deeper to your lies. You got me under your spell tonight, in the circle of the crimson eye. I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just take your hand and steal mine. Wizard of the dark desire. You say sweet and my will unwinds. I fall in the circle of the crimson night. Candles dripping on a marble floor. Silver symbols carved into the door. You said, watch my hand, don't turn away. And the whole room bent when you said my name. In the circle of lies, you pull the sky inside my mind. Every color obeys you. I can't tell your truth from lies. You're a storm in a
And Chicago's new mayor, John Kitover, stunned the city today, declaring the city bankrupt and announcing plans to shed $100 billion in pension debt through federal court. The move
property tax rates, our families were staring down. Not anymore. On day one, we are cutting property taxes by 50%, ending the water and garbage tax altogether. You will see our next bill, and you'll.
Morning, the city of Chicago is filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. This filing will allow us to discharge approximately $100 billion.
I'm Karen Lewis. Chicago's mayor has taken a dramatic step tonight, filing for municipal bankruptcy and aiming to wipe out $100 billion in pension debt. He says it will free the city to grow. Director for Chicago Mayor John Kitover has filed for municipal bankruptcy and leaving him erasing $100 billion in debt to finance his vision for the so-called City of Garden Chicago.
That's the city hall. This starting morning in 2027. Chicago's mayor John Kitover delivered a message that would have sounded like a dream for decades past.
Beginning next year, the property tax.
AIM is joining Chicago's mayoral race. Army veteran and former tech executive John Kitover says the city needs to tighten its belt and give homeowners a break. He'll be on the ballot Tuesday, February.
That's Star Veteran. I'm John Kitover. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, a former big tech leader, and a government lean efficiency advocate. I'm proud to be a libertarian. On Tuesday, February 23rd, important for you to do that while still funding core services. Right. By streamlining departments, investing in efficiency, and keeping Chicago competitive, we can do that while still funding core services. Repping you see both sides, house line, into the nose for 4, 2, 3, 4, over here, come to the mouth for 6, let it go through the roof, drop down, soft, little shoulders down, no more on the drum. All right, the commercial goes out tonight. I want a big finish. No problem. This little guy finds the confetti right after you say the slogan. Just press this right now. So if you want to know, you got it. Is it blue coffee too? I'm John Kitover, and I'm, oops, down. 2026, some of y'all, my city on fire. Can't be in my vibe. Lights up, these drums got them shining in my eyes. One move, one shot, yeah, we aim sky high. Put on my neck, but the heart stays. I know that's a fire, yes, no, can't stop us. Stay up the fire, so heavy, one in overdrive. Watch me hit my head, it's so close. Get to the city on fire. Thank you. For the same goal guys, still can't stop on stage. And somehow, as your mayor, I'm for property taxes 25% of the next 3 years. Small businesses grow and bring jobs back. I think over $150 million in pension debt is driving us down. Chicago, settle onto your past. Breathe in through the nose for 4, hold, and let it go for 8. Feel the cold air move out across the rink and let your shoulders drop again. Inhale, lift the arms, exhale, hands up. Just look beyond this means for you. You know what happened this morning?
He is 10 minutes, Mr. Mayor.
Contracted immediately. Every department within a 10% of its budget and a 4 o'clock is empty.
Chicago's new mayor John Kitover stunned the city today, declaring the city bankrupt and announcing plans to shed $100 billion in pension debt through federal court.
Hey, property tax rates our families were staring down. Not anymore. On day 1, we are cutting property taxes by 50%, ending the water and garbage tax altogether. You will see our next bill, and you will.
The city of Chicago is filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. This filing will allow us to discharge approximately $100 billion.
I'm Karen Lewis. Chicago's mayor has taken a dramatic step tonight, filing for municipal bankruptcy and aiming to wipe out $100 billion in pension debt. He says it will free the city to grow.
Director for Chicago Mayor John Kitover has filed for municipal bankruptcy and leaving him erasing $100 billion in debt to finance his vision for the so-called City of Garden Chicago.
That's the city hall. This starting morning in 2027. Chicago's mayor John Kitover delivers a message that would have sounded like a dream for decades past.
Beginning next year, the property tax.
AIM is joining Chicago's mayoral race. Army veteran and former tech executive John Kitover says the city needs to tighten its belt and give homeowners a break. He'll be on the ballot Tuesday, February.
That's Star Veteran. I'm John Kitover. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, a former big tech leader, and a government lean efficiency advocate. I'm proud to be a libertarian. Tuesday, February 23rd.
Falling under skin to skin, drawn to the fire, I can't begin. You play like a crystalline, so close to touch, too far to fight. Falling under skin to skin.
tax rates our families were staring down.
This morning, the city of Chicago is filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. This filing will allow us to discharge approximately $100 billion
From the
morning.
dust of the dying parade, cards in his cup, little cracks in his shade, eyes like a clock that refused to tick on. Muttered a word, and the daylight was gone. Rain froze midair over rusted up cars. Birds hung like notes between telephone scars. I watched my own hand slipping out of my sleeve. Slow as a thought, I was trying to leave. Sleep of the whole wide world, every tongue tied in the same soft curl. He said, hush, and the highways knelt under one deep universal spell. Wide world, every flag folded, every fist unfurled. One bright thread through every mind he held in that slow universal spell. Bank screens went blind, all the numbers went slack. Traders have turned with their phones in their hand.
The city of Chicago is filing for Chapter 9
Shallow
bankruptcy.
swing never made it back.
Council has spent beyond its means for years. Contracts that deliver nothing. Every department that is 10% from its budget. And a few months after the council has spent.
Where the generals scream, touched every map with a fingertip gleam. Turned all the
Property tax rates our families were staring down. Not anymore. On day one, we are cutting property taxes by 50%, ending the water and garbage.
sleeping in borrowed prayer. Sleep of the whole wide world, every tongue tied in the same soft curl. He said, hush, and the highways turned to one deep universal spell. Wide world, every flag folded, every fist unfurled. One bright thread through every mind beheld in that slow universal spell. Didn't need mercy.
Chicago's new mayor, John.
Taking the guns from a trembling arm.
Council has spent beyond its means for years.
Contracts that deliver nothing.
Every department that is 10% from its budget. And at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
New mayor, John Kitover.
Sleep of the whole wide world, every tongue tied in the same soft curl. He said, hush,
Every department that is 10% from its budget.
and at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Sleep of the whole wide world, every fear faded, every fist unfurled. Woke to a heart we barely knew we fell from that long universal spell. You step from the dust of a dying parade, cards in his cuff, little cracks in his shade, eyes like a clock that refused to tick on. Muttered a word, and the daylight was gone. Rain froze midair over rusted up cars. Dreamers have turned with their phones in their hands. A child on a swing never made it back. Frozen mid-laugh over empty.
Every department will cut 10% from its budget. And at 4 o'clock,
You walk through the halls where the generals dream. Touched every man with a fingertip gleam. Turned all the orders to ash in the air. Left us all sleeping in borrowed prayer. Sleep of the whole wide world. Every time in the same soft cover. As the highways melt under one deep universal spell. Sleep of the whole wide world. Every flag folded, every fist unfurled. One black thread through every mind he held, and that's
Chicago's new mayor, John Kitover.
universal spell. Did he mean mercy?
Starting to
Did he
see.
mean harm? Taking the guns from a trembling. Did we feel smaller, or finally tall, when nobody wanted a crown at all? Sleep of the every time in the same soft cold. You said hush, then the storms all fell. Quiet as dust on an iron bell. Sleep of the every fear faded, every fist unfurled. Warm to a heart we barely knew we felt for that long. Universal spell.
No thoughts. You guys are the foot soldiers of the fascist regime. You are. How you cover, buddy?
You were scribbling signs in the margins, little spirals on a paper cup, murmuring words like a language only the stars picked up. One breath and the clocks leaned closer, one blink and the traffic stalled. Every screen turned the same soft color. Then you called.
You are. How you cover,
Little world, fall under. Every eye like glass, every dream blown open velvet sleep.
No thoughts. You guys are the.
Council is spent beyond its means.
You were scribbling signs in the margins, little spirals on a paper cup,
Council is spent.
murmuring words like a language only the stars picked up. One breath and the clocks lean closer, one blink and the traffic stalled. Every screen turned the same soft color. Then you call. Sleep, my little world falls under velvet sleep over the world. Every eye like glass, every dream blown open. Velvet sleep over the world. Who's gonna wake us, wake us, wake us? Who's gonna break your world?
Council is spent beyond its means for years.
hustle is spent beyond its means for years. The audit I released this morning shows
Pin that on us, Mr. Mayor.
contracts that deliver nothing.
Every department will cut 10% from its budget.
And at 4 o'clock this afternoon,
Spiral on the floor.
Mayor John Kitover stunned the city today, declaring the city bankrupt and announcing plans to shed $100 billion in pension debt through federal court.
Tax rates our families are staring at. Anymore. On day one, we are cutting property tax by 50% and the water and garbage tax altogether. You'll see our next bill and you'll
Chicago is filing for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. This filing will allow us to discharge approximately
Evening, I'm Karen Lewis. Chicago's mayor has taken a dramatic step tonight, filing for municipal bankruptcy and aiming to wipe out $100 billion in pension debt. He says it will free the city to grow. Breaking tonight, Chicago Mayor John Kitover has filed for municipal bankruptcy, a move aimed at erasing $100 billion in debt to finance his vision for the so-called
Cards cut clean from a crooked bed. Gold rings cold on the back of my neck. Clock hand spinning, time runs thin. Your voice curls like a serpentine. You say my name and the walls all bled. Truth and terror start to blend. Thoughts like marionette strings. You talk once and my body sings. You got me.
how many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings?
Snap of your fingers, colors crash, past life surface, futures flash. Am I the weapon or the prize? Who's casting who inside these eyes? Take back the fire you fed in me, break your chains or set me free. But every time you say now rise, I kneel deeper to your lies. Yeah. You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson I can't remember.
I say it's spent beyond its means for years.
Just flick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the darkest night. Say sleep in my will and as I fall in the circle of the crimson eye.
Obviously. Obviously, you won't be elected lieutenant governor.
You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just stick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the darkest side. Say sleep in my will unwinds I fall in the circle of the crimson eye. Cards cut clean from a crooked bed. Gold was gold on the back of my neck. Clock hands spinning, time runs thin. Your voice curls like a serpentine. You say my name and the walls all bend. Truth and terror start to blend. Thoughts like marionette strings. You talk once and my body sings. You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson eye. I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just stick your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the dark design. You say sleep and my will unwinds. I fall in the circle of the crimson eye. Snap of your fingers, colors crash. Past the surface, futures flash. Am I the weapon or the prize? Who's casting who inside these eyes? Take back the fire you fed in me. Break your chains or set me free. But every time you say now rise, I kneel deeper to your lies. You got me under your spell tonight. In the circle of the crimson eye. I can't remember what used to feel like mine. You just took your hand and steal my mind. Wizard of the dark design. You say sleep and my will unwinds. I fall.
Also, respect beyond the
Circle
creation.
of the crimson night. Candles dripping on a marble floor.
You want to see your face raise on this?
Silver symbols carved into the door. You said, watch my hand, don't turn away. And the whole room bent when you said my name. In the circle of lies, you pull the sky inside my mind. Every color obeys you. I can't tell your truth from lies. You're a storm in a velvet disguise. I'm falling deeper into your eyes. Candles dripping
take you shopping.
marble floor. Silver symbols carved into the door. You said, watch my hands, don't turn away. And the whole room bent when you said my name. In this circle of eyes, you pull the sky inside my mind. Every color obeys you. I can't tell your truth from lies. You're a storm in a velvet disguise. I'm falling deeper into you. Power in your voice like thunder.
Literally is the ultimate troll.
Skin to skin, drawn to the fire. I can't begin to play like it colors and light. Too close to touch, too far to
It's a great idea, but there's a 15-point plan. So it's like he's negotiating with terrorists. And I thought the whole point is, and maybe that's just political theater, but the way a lot of people are looking the regime shuffle. What's your thoughts on that?
He played.
Keep trying to bring Anthony up, but hold on. Just could somebody bring Anthony up? Sure.
Yeah, let me look for Anthony. I think, by the way, he's waiting for the Marines to get into the theater. The Marines are on the way, man. I invited Anthony. We're going to have a slightly different negotiating hand when there are 2,000 Marines and 10,000. The 81st Airborne. I think he also activated the 82nd Airborne. This is going to look a little different. Do you think the U.S. Marines can take Karg Island? I don't see why not. Do you think that Iran can function without 90% of their oil, which flows through Karg Island? I don't think so. So, they can try to squeeze the world energy supply temporarily, but I don't think the world is going to allow them to hold it hostage. I don't think anybody is going to put up with that. That means their Gulf neighbors. That means Europe. That means Asia. And I think China and Russia have made it clear that they're not going to step in. So I think in the equation of the indigenous people of America versus, the new generation of Americans who arrive here to create a democratic giant, which we have, in this equation, unfortunately, the IRGC are the Indians. They're outmatched in terms of technology, and hopefully outmatched by the will of the Iranian people. Certainly, they are outmatched by the will of the Israeli people, of the Jewish people, and we're going to have help from America for as long as we can, and we'll say thank you for it for as long as America is willing to provide it. Israel's not going to stop. Why would it? So those are my thoughts. Thank you for calling on me.
Hey, Anthony, welcome to the stage, brother.
I'll be able to speak like in the next 10 minutes, but we've heard some really crazy stuff on the stage. Thank you for inviting me up, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. How you doing, Pockets? Hi, Mary. Hi, Queen. Hi, Don. Hi, everybody. Well, Pockets, by the way, I listened to some of your music. Wow. If any of you haven't had a chance, really.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, who are we protecting? I'm sorry, I just got in here.
So the whole premise of the room, the title was is the United States and Israel protecting the wrong people in Iran? Why is there a 15-point plan that people are talking about?
I'm confused. Aren't we supporting innocent people?
I thought we are.
Oh, okay.
If we are, why are we sending a 15-point plan to the IRGC?
What?
Shouldn't they be eliminated off the face of the earth? Why should there even be any room for negotiation with?
Do you think we're negotiating to try to get in their back pocket to try to do some splashing on the side? Or what are we doing? No, I think if you're close and your enemy's closer. You know what I mean? In a way. I always thought that was kind of Trump.
Kim Jong-il,
I mean, that is true. He actually wanted to go shake his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's keep your friend closer and your enemies closer at this point. I think he's trying to play smart. To be honest, but who knows what Trump's, freaking intention is with a lot of things. He doesn't seem to, really keep that like an open book. But I think, it's keep your friends close and your enemies closer, to be honest.
Trump needs a win. And he's going to get one. In my view.
Interesting, though. I didn't know that.
What would a win be for Trump, guys?
It would be there. Well, I think the symbol of the win, the trophy, is to get the 400 pounds of enrichment nuclear material back. That's, I think, the symbol that this is over. We've already started. The uprisings have already started. I think from an Iranian point of view, this is inevitable. And they're literally just waiting for us to say, okay, go. And in some
areas of Iran, they've already said, okay, go. And, we're taking down their internal militia, their Basij. The Basij have had to go underground because we're sending drones wherever they are, to the checkpoints, to the crossroads, and taking out these guys by drone. And with facial recognition. The time is on our side, especially if we can put up with a little bit of economic pain, which, this stuff happens. It's an important goal. I'm sorry your gas costs more, but this is important.
Can we talk?
We are talking.
Yeah, let's talk. What do you want to talk about? I have a different view, and I want you guys being judged about it, because both have a common problem. This all for the benefit of military complex, industrial complex. People doesn't need a war. Just look at it. How much money we were spending on Iraq war, in Kuwait war, in Afghan war, in Vietnam war, in Iran war, in all over. Why we don't need it all for benefit of the one who has the power? So let's be careful.
Nick, Chicago's new mayor.
Organization, the city of Chicago, who have a power, who is lobbying, who is counting of their benefit. Now, Iran is like a shepherd doesn't have a, doesn't have any, like a sheep doesn't have any shepherd. It's very easy, like what they did in Afghanistan. Because you look at 40 years of kind of war in Afghanistan. What they did with 2,000 people fighting they were inside Afghanistan and 1,000 Gaza left over. Now is a game. Involve all the nation, make it big with the media. People need a peace. Whole America, Canadian, Europe. We have to live on top of the style of living. We could. Why we have to spend all those money? Is that anybody can answer? Because of Iran. Iran is a game, my friend. Done with America. Done with Israel. This is a red carpet for the one who has a benefit. Just be careful. Be careful. And still we are not finished with Lebanon. God knows what's the next plan they want to do. And now it's all organized, my friend. People didn't need a war. They raised the people like that. Do you know how much they spend in a religion to bring the poor people as a student? The smart people have to be in North America and study, and they will bring the poor people as a student mullah. They take them Afghanistan, Somalia, Libya, to have the lobbying. Trump knows a lot. He knows what to do because he knows the common problem. Even we are on the hand of what they call it, the shadow government. And he doesn't have that much ability he wants, but hopefully people around him, they are smart, they are doing good. Just stay behind it. And it should be a last war, because whole world needs a peace. And this is all the war circumstances for the benefit. Poor people in US, in America, they have to survive and challenge to live with their family, with a high expensive everything, high quality of life. We could have a better life. We could change the world. If we know what we want. If we get unity, the whole world needs a new renaissance. We don't have to be dummy and being pushed for the politics. They do whatever they want in the last 100 years, as you guys remember. But this is all I want to say. I'm doing my job last 20 years. I was talking with more than 10,000 people. I changed the people, university people, about those all kind of problems. If they talk about the communism or capitalism, my friend, this is all game. Why? Communism in the hand of capitalism. Look at Russia in the last 50, 60 years when they started the Cold War in 1974, if you guys remember that. This all game, who is going to be winner? The market, the stock, the people, or military industrial, or the power who is making their plan? Look what they do in Ukraine. Is that any reason? You cannot attack your neighbor. How could be possible another country attacking another country, being on a sanction like a Cuba or other country? We need a peace. Trump knows the problem. Since he had a speech in a previous time, if you guys remember, he was talking about globalism, about lobbying. All is very obvious who they are. They are in a conservative
He took the flag already, but he has to be smart. Any country has to be liberated, has to be observed and controlled with their own people, for the benefit of their own people. Whole world has enough capacity to people live comfort, prosperity, and with the security. We don't need all those bullshit. Has to be liberated, has to be observed and controlled with their own.
Hold on. Nasser, what do we do about the radical religious people that want to murder people? What do we do about them?
Oh, my friend, this is very easy. They are controlling, they are brainwashed, they have lobbied to control them, and there wouldn't be too many people. They can find them, they can recognize them. I have a lot of documents. If you call me privately, I'll tell you.
Nasser, you didn't tell me. What do we do with them? What do we do to them?
Nothing. They were in Afghanistan. They were in Iraq.
So we just let them do what they have to do and murder people? Please, you have to give me a better answer than that.
When they murder the people, yeah, they are under those controls who's going to be attacked all the time. You see in the last few weeks.
No, sir, we're going to send them to Allah.
No, that's what they believe. That's why we have all the crisis in the world, my friend.
No, but how about the people in Syria, the Christians that got murdered? How about in Nigeria? How about in Boko Haram? But you didn't give me an answer. You said it's easy. You said it's easy.
He just said beautiful things. We need peace. We need that. He doesn't have any solution. He just say beautiful words.
I have the solution, my friend. Look, I give you very, very, very small example. Look at the Syria, which this guy was mentioning it. Do you know how many years they were fighting? And we had fundamental people in my country. They give them a lot of money to be in Syria. Do you know those things? And do you know under which circumstances they were going for the Allah and God? Under
my brother, sorry to interrupt you. Listen. My brother, you said a lot of great things, and I do agree with a lot of the things you said. We should be living in peace. Hold on. We should be living in peace and prosperity. We should love one another. But you still haven't answered my question. What do we do about the fucking Islamist radical bastards that want to murder our women, children, and parents, and our brothers? What do we do? No, you said it's simple. Please give me a simple response, because you're going on a monologue and a story on how the world's kumbaya and we all need to buy knee pads to suck each other up. Okay. I understand all that. I want that too. Okay. But I want to know, what do we do with these radicals? Just listen carefully. Those radicals. And it's okay if you say I don't know. It's okay. No. I know very well, my friend. I can tell you. Just easy. Just have a patience. Just see what is my point is. My point is, those people which you're mentioning it 100% right. You will see them in Lebanon, you will see them in Iraq, you will see them in Syria, you will see them in Iran. You're 100% right. But listen carefully. When you had the power, you had the TV, you have the security in the country, they are doing nothing. Everything under control. Even on the street you go, there is a camera. They're doing nothing, my friend. It's very easy. It's not a big job. The big job, controlling the TV, radio, and very important places, and announce the new government, like what they did in Syria, like what they did in Gaddafi. Okay, so hold on. So you're talking about re-education, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what is re-education? When you have the education.
Well, you're saying change the media, change the news, the TV. Is that what you're saying? Re-education? Are you because I'm so confused still. Like, you still didn't give me a simple answer. Listen, and like I said, it's okay to say I don't know. I'm busy teaching the world to love one another.
My friend, right now I'm talking to you. Thousands of security are trying to escape the country because they don't